It is time to create the third scene. Here there is a film strip, multimedia icons, and other objects. Let's start by changing the units. On length, change it to be in centimeters. Select and delete everything for a fresh start. Save this file. Navigate to Blender Scenes folder. Let's call it Scene 03. Add in a circle. Number of vertices to be 64 and radius to be 275 centimeters. Tab into Edit mode and then go to Edge Select mode. Extrude by pressing E. Then S to scale these edges. Extrude and scale once more. Go to Face Select mode, then select this loop of faces. Switch to Front Orthographic View. Press E. Faces will extrude along the Z-axis automatically. Adjust the median value on Z to be 12 centimeters. Go to Edge Select mode, select this edge loop. Scale it down slightly from Top Orthographic View. Select this outer edge loop, then select this one as well. Switch to Front Orthographic View. Press E, then Z, to extrude along the Z-axis. Press S, then 0, that is to scale the extruded edges to be 0 along the Z-axis. Set their median value to be negative 150 centimeters on Z. Press F3, search for bridge edge loops. Since we have made this object out of a circle, that means that the normals are somehow messed up. Let's find out. As you can see, the normals are facing inside. Select everything, go to Mesh, Normals. Then flip. Add Bevel modifier, set bevel amount to 1, and segments to be 4. Add a subdivision surface modifier, and leave it the way it is. Right-click this object and shade smooth. Rename this object to be Base Main. Add in a cylinder. Set vertices to be 64, radius to be 550 centimeters, and depth to be 350 centimeters. Rename this cylinder to Base. Select and move base along the Z-axis this way. Switch to Top Orthographic View, go to Face Select mode. Select this top face, and then insert faces. Toggle X-ray, then scale the inserted face this way. Switch to Front Orthographic View, and extrude along the Z-axis this way. Add in a sphere. Number of segments to be 64, rings to be 32, and radius to be 275 centimeters. Select these bottom faces, then delete. Press / key to go into local view of this object. Add a solidify modifier to it, adjust thickness to 10, and check even thickness. Add a bevel modifier to it, set amount to be 1, and segments to be 4. Let's also add a subdivision surface modifier to it. Reduce render levels to 1. Right-click and shade smooth this sphere. Duplicate this sphere. Toggle X-ray and scale it down this way, hold down Shift for smaller adjustments. Select this outer sphere, set Y rotation to be negative 155 degrees. Select this other sphere, set Y rotation to be 170 degrees. Add in a plane. Tab into Edit mode. Press S, X, 90 to rotate it along the X-axis by 90 degrees. Switch to Front Orthographic View, then move the plane along the Z-axis this way. Ctrl R, add 2 loop cuts here. Press S, Z, then 2. Ctrl-R, add vertical loop cuts here. Set number of cuts to be 4. Ctrl-R once more, add 2 loop cuts here. Press S, Z, then 2.8. Go to face select mode. Select these faces. Press I twice to insert individual faces. Set thickness to be 6.5 centimeters. Add a single loop cut on each side this way. Go to face select mode, select these faces, then delete. Select these faces, and delete as well. Add an array modifier to this plane. Count to be 3. Set the X location of this object to be -150 centimeters. Rename this plane to be film strip. Add in a text object. Press R, X, then 90. Move this text up here this way. On alignment, set both horizontal and vertical to be center. Edit text to read entertainment in capital letters this way. Set the font type to be Arial Italic Bold. On line spacing, set it to be 0.7. Add a solidify modifier to this text. Set thickness to be 5 centimeters. Adjust this text along the y-axis this way. Go to Add, Empty, then Plane Axis. Bring the plane axis down here. While it's still selected, press Shift S, then cursor to selected. Add in a sphere. Set number of segments to be 16, and rings to be 8. Tab into Edit mode, then scale this sphere down. Grab it and bring it up here. Adjust it this way, then scale it down more. Duplicate, move it to here, then scale down. Duplicate once more, move it to here. Then scale it down as well. Select this one, duplicate, then bring it to this side. Scale it up slightly. Right-click, and shade smooth. Add an array modifier to these tiny spheres. Set count to 60, and set factor X to be 0. Check object offset. Expand object offset, use the eyedropper to select this empty object here. Select the empty object, and set Z rotation to be 6 degrees. Tab into Edit mode, select all and adjust this spheres if you have to. While still in Edit mode, add in a plane. Toggle X-ray, and move the plane along X-axis this way. Scale it along the Y-axis this way. You can hold down Shift key for smaller adjustments. Switch to front orthographic view, bring this selection along the Z-axis this way. Extrude this edge along the Z-axis, then extrude along X-axis as well. The 3D cursor is down here. Add in a cylinder. Set vertices to be 32, radius to be 20 centimeters, and depth 10 centimeters. Tab into Edit mode. Press R, X, then 90, to rotate by 90 degrees on the X-axis. Go to Face Select mode, toggle X-ray, then select the front and back faces. Insert those faces. Set thickness to be 2 centimeters. Add bevel modifier to this object, set amount to be 1 centimeter, and segments to be 4. Right-click, then shade smooth. Make sure these two faces remain selected, you will see why. Add an array modifier to the cylinder. Set number of count to be 6. Rename this cylinder to Multimedia Icons. Click on these object, rename it to Details. Select Multimedia Icons, press M to put them in a collection. Let's call it Multimedia Icon Set. Apply the array modifier on the multimedia icons. If you tab into edit mode, you can see these faces remain selected, don't deselect them now. Switch to UV editing workspace. This right area should be in front orthographic view. Press U, then project from view. On this left area, change here to be face select mode. Click on Open, navigate to the resources location, select this multimedia icons image. Select these faces by holding down left mouse button as you drag. Select and arrange them on top of these icons this way. Select all the faces, press period key, set pivot point to be at individual origins. Scale up the faces this way. Switch to shading workspace. Press / key to get into local view of multimedia icons. Go to File, then Append. Select Scene 01, look for materials. Select these materials. You can see materials are now available. Select Metal 01. Tab into edit mode, you can see these faces are selected. Create a second material slot, and make a new material. Rename it to Multimedia Icons. On Shader Editor, add in an image texture. Select the Multimedia Icons image. Connect color to base color this way. Assign the material to the faces. Set metallic value to be 1. Duplicate this principled BSDF, then change the base color to be red. Add in a mix shader and connect it here, then connect the red principled BSDF to it. Add in a color ramp, put it here. Connect alpha from image texture to factor of the color ramp. Then connect color from color ramp to factor of mix shader. To swap these colors on the icons, you can either do that on the mix shader, or just flipping the color ramp. Press / key again to get out of local view of the multimedia icons. Select base and give the black material. Select base main, assign it black material as well. Tab into edit mode, select this loop of faces, create a new material slot, select Metal 01, then assign. Select these details object, and assign it Metal 01. Tab into edit mode, select this geometry here. Create a new material slot and select Metal 02 then assign. Select this sphere, assign Metal 01. Create a second material slot and select Metal 02. Go to Solidify modifier, expand materials, set rim value to 1. Set material offset to 1, that is what we need. Tab into edit mode. Select this loop of faces, create a new material slot, select red material and assign. Select this sphere first, then select this one last. Ctrl L, then link materials. Select this sphere, go to its Solidify modifier, expand materials, and then set material offset value to be 1. Tab into edit mode, select this loop of faces, select this red material and assign. Select this film strip, assign it metal 01. Tab into edit mode, select these faces. Create a new material slot, select red, and assign. Select text, assign it the text material. Create a new material slot, select red. Go to Solidify modifier, expand materials, set rim value to 1. Go to render properties, check ambient occlusion, screen space reflections. Expand shadows, check high bit depth for later, during lighting. Select these multimedia icons. Tab into edit mode, and select everything. Press P, separate by loose parts. Shift S, cursor to world origin. Make sure that this collection is the one selected. Add in a circle, set number of vertices to be 32. Tab into edit mode, then /key for local view. Press F to fill this area with a face, and scale it down this way. Rename this circle to Icons Holder. Change this area from Shader Editor to Geometry Node Editor. Create new geometry node, rename it to Icons Holder. Add distribute points on faces. Add instance on points and connect it here. From the outliner, drag in the multimedia icon set to create this collection info node. Connect geometry to instance this way. Check separate children and reset children. Check pick instance on points. These icons don't appear how we need them to be. That is because their origins are located at a one common place. To fix that, select them from the outliner, go to Object, set Origin, then Origin to Center of Mass. You can see the problem is fixed, that is because each object is able to rotate about its center. Let's continue with the geometry nodes. Add in a random value node. Connect it to scale of instance on points. Set the minimum value to be 0.2 and maximum value to be 2. Add in another random value node, change it to vector. Connect it to rotation of instance on points. I found out that, on the maximum, 20 on X, 33 on Y, and 24 on Z, looks good. On distribute points on faces, change it to Passion disk. Set distance minimum to be 40 cm, density maximum to be 60, and density factor to be 0.4. Select and arrange these nodes this way. Add in a set position node, connect it here. Shift D to duplicate this random value node, and bring it here. Zero out everything on the maximum. Connect value to offset of set position node. If you mess around with the Z value you can see the effect. Set the Z value to be 0.9. Switch to Animation Workspace. Make this area on the left to display rendered preview. Switch to Front Orthographic View, select these objects, then slightly move them up along the Z-axis this way. Go to World Properties. On Color, select Environment Texture. Click on Open, navigate to the Resources folder, and select this HDRI image. Reduce strength to 0.3. Go to Render Properties, expand Film, then check Transparent. Create a new collection, rename it to Lights and Camera. We will bring in lights from another Blender file, then tweak them a little, the same way we did in the previous scene. Open File Explorer, and navigate to where the scenes are saved. Open Scene 02, it will load in its own separate window. Select these lights from the outliner. Right-click, and copy. Go to the Blender window that contains Scene 03. Select Lights and Camera Collection. Press Ctrl V to paste the lights. Select these right and left lights, then move them down this way. Select this top light. Increase power to 1000 watts. Move the light up. While still in front orthographic view, add in a camera. Switch to right orthographic view and pull out the camera this way. Go to Add, Empty, then Sphere. Scale up the empty sphere to make it slightly visible, then apply Scale. Duplicate this empty, bring it to the top, then scale it down. Apply scale to this empty as well. Rename this empty to Empty Main. Rename the other sphere empty to Empty Camera. Select this camera first, the empty camera last, Ctrl P, set parent to object. Select empty camera first, then empty main last, Ctrl P, set parent to object. Select empty camera, adjust its Z location this way. On this left area, go to Camera View. Select the camera, set the focal length to be 30 mm. Let's set a nice camera view by rotating these two empty objects in the scene. Select this camera and enable depth of field. Use the eyedropper to select film strip to be the focus object. Set the f-stop value to be 0.6. You can select these icons and bring them down if you think they are too high. It's now time for animation. Change this left side to be for solid preview. Set this animation to only be 120 frames. Also, change the frame rate to be 30 frames per second. Select Empty Main, and go to Frame 1. Set Z rotation to be -45 degrees. Instead of pressing I to add a keyframe on all axes, just right-click here, then insert single keyframe. Go to frame 60, set Z rotation to be 0, right-click then set single keyframe. Go to frame 120, set Z rotation to be 15 degrees, right-click then insert single keyframe. Go to frame 1, and select Empty Camera. Set X rotation to be -70 degrees, right-click then insert single keyframe. Go to frame 50, set X rotation to be -10 degrees, right-click and insert a single keyframe. Select this camera. Go to frame 1, set Y location to be -400 cm, right-click then insert single keyframe. Go to frame 20, set Y location to be -1200 cm, right-click then insert single keyframe. These first two keyframes are for transitioning from the previous scene. Go to frame 120, set Y location to be at -800 cm. Select Empty Camera, go to the timeline and press Ctrl-Tab, click on Normalize. Select this handle and ease, press X to lock movement horizontally. Select the camera and select these keyframes. Press period, set pivot point to be at individual centers. Press S, X, then 1.5. Press Ctrl Tab, then offset these keyframe by 10 frames backwards. Select this sphere. Go to frame 60, on Y rotation, right-click and insert single keyframe. Go to frame 20, set Y rotation to be 0 degrees. Right-click and insert single keyframe. Select the other sphere. Go to frame 60, on Y rotation, right-click and insert single keyframe. Go to frame 20, set Y rotation to be 0 degrees. Right-click and insert single keyframe. Select these two spheres. On the timeline, press Ctrl Tab. Select this handle and ease, press X to lock movement horizontally. Select this collection, go to Add, Empty, Cube. Bring the empty cube to the bottom of this film strip. Scale it down slightly. Apply scale. Select the text, film strip, then empty cube last, press Ctrl P, then set parent to object. Rename this empty cube to empty text and film strip. The empty should be selected. Go to frame 60, then press I to record a keyframe on scale. Go to frame 30, set scale to be 0.3 on all axes, then press I to insert a keyframe. Select this handle and ease, press X to lock movement horizontally. Select icons holder, we want to animate Z rotation without using keyframes. Here, type #sign frame multiplied by -0.02. Select details. Then go down here and shift select this empty, Ctrl P, set parent to object. Rename this empty object to empty details. On Z rotation of this empty details, type #sign frame multiplied by -0.005. Select empty camera. It's time to create the transitional keyframes at the end of this animation. Go to frame 100, on X rotation, right-click, insert single keyframe. Go to frame 120, then subtract 90 degrees from the current value, right-click, insert single keyframe. Select these last two keyframes, and switch to Graph Editor. Press S, X, then 1.5. Offset these keyframes forward by 10 frames. Let's meet in creating the next scene.